Dean, satisfying beating AFC Wimbledon?
Yeah, satisfied with a win. Kind of stuff. Not too fussed about. Really, it's got bigger things to fish to fry, and we're satisfied with a win. We had sort of that horrible win one, lose one sort of start to the season, so it was nice to we lost 2 in a row to get back on winning ways. And
that's the key thing at that point in the game, isn't it? It's not the occasion. It was the game of football, and it was important to get back on the winning ways.
Yeah, we spoke about both sides of. Tiz mentioned obviously the game. It's not goes unnoticed, but horribly blowing, and you break it down. It's just 11 versus 11, and all the rest of the stuff that goes with it. And that's really how we approached it. I think trying to be totally professional. Days are gone of running into tackles and smashing people. You can't do it anyway. As much as you might like to, you can't do it anymore. And it's not the way we want to be. And so it was kind of approached it in a proper way. And I think we thoroughly deserved the victory.
Decent to have that no Tuesday game this week, I'd imagine, for everyone, just a time to regroup and refocus and have a bit of rest, all of you collectively as a squad and a management. Yeah. Although you don't look as if you've been having much rest.
We don't do rest. It's been nice, just mentally, I think, just have just that little break. It's also, we had a reserve game yesterday, Tuesday, which is, some of the boys that have been on the periphery. It's hard sometimes with Saturday, Tuesday, because there's not much time for training as you're used to it during like a Saturday to Saturday week, and so it's important for them boys to get some minutes as well, and so it's been a nice week for everyone concerned, I think.
Do you take any personal satisfaction seeing players like David Kasuma and Sam Nombe who are coming through? You'll have seen them as knee-high kind of players around the place, and then scoring goals like he did on last Saturday. Did you get personal satisfaction of that as somebody that's been here for the time that you have, and the fact that you're the captain?
I think it's great. As you said, most of the boys that make it to the first team, they're normally with us by 16 or 17. So you sort of you just follow them really, and you see how they progress. And the boys that make it's great, and it's great seeing them. But on the other side, there's, for every Dave or Sam, there's 9 or 10 that don't make it, and so it's always nice to see when they do. And it's for all the boys that have come through. I still Saturday after game, I'm on my phone for 15-20 minutes. How's Screech got on? Where's Chicks? Where's Sam Baldock? Where's George? You literally just go through because you're proud of what they've done in their careers they have, and so it's nice to see them at the very start, and hopefully go and watch them go and do bigger and better things.
I think Deli and George were back here. Dean Bowditch as well were back watching the game on Saturday, and George Baldock and Dele Alli, are they still the same people that you knew when you were playing with them here at MK Dons, or have they changed? Have they become those Premier League superstars?
Yeah, all big time, aren't they? Disgrace. No, they were great. We come out of the shower and they were loitering outside the change room. So you don't need no instruction to come in. So we took them into the change room, and with Reevesy back now, there's a few more players that would have known them and stuff, but they were great. Just coming in and chatting, it just felt like old times really. It's you had that connection with them. I think with everyone you play with, you have that. You just fall back into as you do with old mates, and that was in the change room for 30-45 minutes after the game, and chatting to the boys they knew, and some of the newer lads, come up to them and have a little chat, and I think Dele and George to Sam and Dave, a little well done on the pat of the back. As the next two off the production line.
And it's nice to see that continuation, isn't it? It's nice to see that here at MK Dons, because it is new. Everything is here new, but it's nice to see somebody who's now playing for England come back, who's still young himself, talk to the young players, and you've got that little circle of life, Dean. A circle of life.
It is, yeah. It's great. I think it's especially for the boys in the youth team. It's great to see someone that's played here progressing to the heights, especially of Dele, but George as well. I think especially George's journey and going on loan to Iceland, and a couple of loans going down the league before he comes back. It's a real positive story of there's not just one route to the top, and George is doing getting rave reviews at Sheffield United and doing really well, and so it's just great for those two. And so well, and obviously other boys, other places are doing well for themselves too, but those two in particular have been fantastic. And as you said, it's nice that we've had an impact on them enough that they want to come back and watch you, and it says a lot about the club that we are and sort of their affection for it.
And just finally, I suppose the season so far, I spoke to your manager and I said, an assessment, and is it some good football, but can do better, must do better, and there's room for improvement?
absolutely room for improvement, and can do better, must do better. Actually, I suppose all three of them are probably correct. Yeah, it's been really frustrating. I think we've done all right in a few games. We had a really bad game against Peterborough where everything went wrong, and we just we got a little bit maybe above our station, and sometimes that can be a good thing. And last 10 days we stripped it back and almost started back again. Take it back to basics and really boot it. And so it's it's a new league, so we have to be aware. Obviously, we're still up a league. It's it is harder and all the things that go with it. And as you said, it's been okay, but lots of room for improvement, and we're working on that.
I think the reboot last season came just before the Newport game, and the Newport game almost fired off that season to get promotion. So it's maybe something that happens in Tisdale teams. I don't know, but it was just before that Newport game, and then you went on a good run.
Yeah, I think we won 6 out of 6 after that, and it's just to get a 3-5-2 is a really complicated system, and there's lots of things that can go wrong with it, and there's lots of grey areas, and sometimes when you're doing really well, they all click and it all makes perfect sense. When you're a little bit out of kilter and you're not quite there, it can cause a lot of problems. So we sort of stripped it back, took it right back to the essence of the simplest way to play it, and then you just add on little bolts once you've passed your little test. You add on something else, and that's basically what we've done. And we said we did it twice last year in the season, and so it's something that we're used to doing, and you just strip it back.
We see you fitter, leaner, stronger. You're running up and down an awful lot more. Still plenty of life left in you.
I hope so. Yeah, it's been I worked hard over the off season to give myself the best chance. I know I'm not 25 anymore, so I know I have to keep that side of my game up, as it's going to be one of the reasons for not playing, so to say. So it's important that I look after myself and take care of it. And it's when you enjoy and you don't realise you're doing it sometimes. And loving playing, plenty of competition in the squad now. So you have to play well to keep onto your shirt, and hopefully can continue for as long as I possibly can.
Is it a more complicated role? I mean, you say the wing back role compared to what just a regular fullback role.
It is. It's basically a decision. You have to think a lot of decisions. You can either go one way or the other. Quite a lot in wing back or full back, you just almost attached to your centre half, and it's a lot simpler. So it's a lot of the time it's decision making, and do you press or do you go back as a 5, and do you go inside? There's lots of things out there, and it is kind of we have a framework, but at the same time you have to decide that in a game. And I think where I didn't think it would suit me, I think that side of it has suited me, making the decisions and sort of picking the right option. With the experience, it definitely is something that's helped me in that role.
We've already seen George Williams and Callum Britton on the score sheet. We're going to see you in the penalty area scoring a few more.
I hope so. Yeah, Cal's sneaking in with his little 30-yarder, but it's something I would like to add to my game, especially the way we're going to sort of play a little bit more. I think more honest in the wing back. So I'd like to score a few more. Yeah.